My Zoom teacher keeps telling me to tell my sister to stop running around in the background. I don't know what she's talking about. I live alone. Fuck no. The babysitter asked why I didn't mention the 2 other children. I only have 1. I found a dead body in the trunk yesterday, which is strange because I remember putting 2 in there. I was having a staring contest with my doll. I won. I went to my friend's house and I needed to use the bathroom, and her brother gave me a water bottle. I said thank you and told my friend her brother was nice, but she said she doesn't have a brother. Who was that boy? At least he was nice. I woke up to hear knocking on the glass. At first I thought it was the window, until I heard it come from the mirror again. Getting rid of all my mirrors, got it. I used to scam people by pretending I was a blind pianist, so I didn't know what to do when my sister came in, dragging her dead husband past me. You keep playing because... Sarah, stop! I yelled as I followed my girlfriend around at the mall. I don't know why she was there. The last time I saw her was when I buried her. Me and my friends looked at the mirror. They were smiling as we left the room. I banged from the inside of the mirror. That's not me. My son was making weird faces at the room where my late father, himself. He said that he was copying the floating man in the room. My name is Julian. While I was cleaning the kitchen with my mom, my little brother shouted, "Julian, no!" While he fell down the stairs. My mom turned her eyes upon me. Sarah comes over to my house. We were having fun. A minute later, I received a text that says, "I can't come over today, I'm sorry." It's from Sarah. No! "Please, Mommy, let us in," they screamed outside the house. Meanwhile, inside the house, a terrified woman desperately tried to call the police, unable to comprehend why those men were wearing the faces of her dead kids as masks. I was video chatting and dropped my phone on the floor. As I picked it up, my husband's face changed. He held his hands to his lips as if saying, "Be quiet." And to my horror, he wrote, "There's a man under your bed." Fuck no. My mom says I need to start taking my schizophrenia medication again because it's unhealthy for me to suddenly stop taking them. But it's the only way I can keep her around. As I woke up in the middle of the night, I heard Alexa speak. "Okay, the security alarms have been disabled." Okay. My family moved a lot when I was younger. Every time we saw a picture of me on the telephone pole, we would pack up. I had to read that one twice. What? My brother always rips up his drawings if he doesn't like them. I just wish he didn't become a tattoo artist. Can you let us know where he works so that we don't go? I sat on my bed and looked in the mirror at myself. Then I curled under the sheets, petrified. I remember my reflection smiling at me. I wasn't. I wouldn't have even stayed in the room. I would have been gone. "See, there's nothing to be afraid of," my mom said, coming out of the closet. "Yeah," I lied, noticing her pimple is on her right cheek now. I heard my little cousin yell from downstairs, "Come watch a movie with me." The problem is that he is mute and was asleep next to me.
This is Creepy 2-Sentence Horror Stories. I told her there was no monster in her closet as I picked her up and told her she could sleep with us tonight. I figured that was the safest way of getting her out the house without him realizing I saw him. Oh nah. I was video chatting and dropped my phone on the floor. As I picked it up, my husband's face changed. He held his hands to his lips if he was to be quiet, and in horror he wrote, "There's a man under your bed." Oh hell no. I would have got to the kitchen. I would have got a knife. Jesus Lord Christ. I had a dream I was being dragged into hell, burning with raining agony. I woke up to the doctor standing over me saying, "Whew, we lost you for a few minutes." Oh girl. Oh girl. Oh girl. "I forgot to grab something. I'll be right back," said Mom. As she rounded the corner out of sight, the cashier began ringing up our groceries. I finally got into a comfortable, warm position under my bed covers, and then I had to pee. Always happens. I can hear it 1 year into the future. Today, the noise stopped. I was home alone once and slept on the couch, but woke up in my bed. I walked to the kitchen to see my parents, but they had just gotten home. My brother told me he didn't want to go outside, so I went by myself. And I saw my brother outside behind a tree, but my brother was inside. Fuck no. I stayed up late on a school night and I heard someone open the door. I fake slept and I realized my mom and uncle were at work. I would have been faking it too. I was on my phone alone in my room and I saw my father staring at me from the mirror. On a fine day, I broke my mom's spatula and vase. I think I'm dead. Send help. This was posted on March 26th. Please let us know if you're alive. Oh my gosh.
I was surprised that a man so kind was willing to give me candy. It's been a long time. Where are the treats? Why did I laugh? This shouldn't be funny. I'm a 911 operator, and on my latest shift, I answered my final call. It sent shivers down my spine when I heard my voice on the other line. I was at school, and they called me because my mother was here to pick me up. She died yesterday. I tried to move any part of my body to let them know I was still awake. Finally, a nurse saw me moving my eyes and said, "We know you're still awake." This is my biggest fucking fear if I ever have surgery for anything. No! Living with dogs, I got used to hearing scratching at my door. Now that I live alone, it's much more unsettling. My little brother said to my mom that someone told him there was a ghost inside our house. My mother asked him who told him. He said, "Our nanny." There are only 3 of us in the house, and we don't have money to have a nanny. My daughter cries and screams at night. Every time I visit her grave, I ask her to stop, but she won't listen. Lying in bed, unable to sleep, I blinked my eyes and noticed a message written on the bedroom door. It read, "I know you're awake." I grabbed my husband's arm tightly as we walked through the haunted house. By the time we got out, he was nowhere to be found, but I was still holding his arm. No. "Eat your cookie," screamed the old man at the little boy. "Eat your cookie or I'll kill you." The boy's puppy's name was Cookie. No! Sometimes when people come home, they feel a little paranoid and check every room just to make sure that they're the only ones in the house. I've seen you do this. Luckily for me, you never check behind the curtains. Bitch, what? "What's that smell?" my mom asked. I began to sweat. Does she know I'm wearing her son's skin? When my phone dies, I put it on the charger, but I don't think this is gonna bring her back. I don't think so either. I went to sleep and I heard my mother say, "Good night." But my mother died 5 years ago. One night, I called my dog to come cuddle, but then I felt arms wrap around me. I live alone. She is so paranoid, but she checks the closet every night. I'm glad she hasn't checked the vent yet. New fear unlocked. I was watching Letty Loves You. When I searched the next day, I was in shock when it said, "Letty Loves You does not exist." Why do I have to be brought into this? Okay, I should not be a part of these. When my family member died, we buried their phone with them. I got a text from them yesterday. What? Okay, but what did the text say? Because, mine knows, yeah. I was sleeping and I felt my little brother tap my shoulder and ran down the hall into my mom's room. I went to see what he wanted, but he was fast asleep. I asked my mom if he had gotten up, and he never did. Fuck no. I looked into my closet, finding one dead body. That's funny, because I remember having 2. Just smile and wave, everyone. I went home late and my grandma was in the corner sitting with just a lamp on. She said hi and asked me to introduce my friend. I went in alone. My husband was so devastated when our daughter went missing. I'm just glad he didn't ask where I got the meat from our stew. From. Disgusting. That's disgusting. No. I was home alone when I saw something. The window, it was a little girl waving at me and I smiled. But when I looked closely, she was hanging. I was sleeping at my grandma's, but then I saw my grandpa at the door. He would go get water at night, but he died a year ago. True story though. I was terrified to see my family at home last night. They died in a car accident 5 years ago. My daughter asked me, "What is a doorbell?" I said something so people don't have to knock. She said, "Put one on my window." I was watching a funny movie on Netflix in my room. I laughed. Someone also laughed, but I was alone. I would have kept laughing. I would have laughed all the way down to the front door and left. My brother always comes in my room and stares at me. I asked him why he does that, and he said he never does. I checked my car trunk. There was a dead body, which is strange because I remembered putting 2 there. Don't fuck with Jung_Shook78. Okay, I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear. And it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. That's fucked up. I haven't seen my mother in 25 years. She said if I disobey her again, she'll take my hearing too. I had a dream. I was in a dark room and I heard a voice saying, "You're gonna die at 3 a.m. I woke up scared and saw my alarm clock hit 2:59. Then my closet door opened. My son said there's a monster in his closet. I went to check and my son was in there. He told me something was on his bed. That's a no from me. Guys, these have been the scariest ones I've read, I feel. What do you think? My mother put me and my best friend to sleep. As she left, me and my best friend looked at each other confused on why my mother looked so healthy. Why isn't the poison working, Abby? I woke up late last night, seeing a shadow of a man outside my window. But I live on the 5th floor. My stepbrother was staying the weekend with my mom's stepdad and me. He was staying up late that night and saw me run from the kitchen and up the stairs. Only problem is, I was sleeping. I breathed in horror as my reflection didn't smile back. Fuck that one. I woke up to the knocking on my door. I looked up and saw my daughter. She was with her friend for the week. That's a fucking no for me. Ever since I was a child, I never liked being alone. Thankfully, the smell of my friend's rotting flesh is comforting. I was talking to the mirror as usual, tapping on the glass. Then I heard a loud tap on the other side. I hate these mirror ones, they creep me out so bad. I told my boyfriend that I hate jump scares for a reason. I wish he'd listen to me while cutting the vegetables. I hope he alright. I looked into the mirror only to see my sister behind me. I told her to go to bed before I went upstairs to my room, but then realized my sister was at my grandparents' this week. Fuck that. I overheard my parents talking. Weird, I thought, and walked over and opened the closet door. Their bodies are still in the closet.